Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we're talking about what is the best meta weapon to use right now in Call of Duty Warzone. The FFAR was nerfed once again, and as you guys know, all the top weapons besides the AMAX were nerfed into the ground, and a bunch of the Cold War weapons were buffed, which completely changed the meta. The FARA and the AK-47 got an excellent buff, in my opinion, which takes them immediately to the top 5 weapons in the game. Today's we're comparing the FAR, which is the original king, to those two weapons to determine what is the best close range meta weapon to use right now in Warzone. If you guys learn anything new, please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys do enjoy the content. Over 90% of you guys that watch the videos have not subscribed. So if you are new, hit the subscribe button. If you do enjoy, hit the like button down below. First things first, we're going to talk about what is the best class setup for each weapon. Then what is the positives and negatives about each one of those class setups individually. So with every single weapon, the number one way to start out all these class setups, the Raider stock is godly. If you want the best close range weapon, the Raider stock gives your straight speed and your sprint to fire and your fire and move speed the biggest bonus possible, which will make it better than any SMG in the game. Obviously, the RPK barrel is a task force. We use it on almost every Cold War weapon. The difference in recoil on all these guns was very minimal, between 5 and 10% more vertical. No effect on the horizontal while improving your straight speed, bullet velocity, and range. Basically all the positives that matter for a close range weapon, which definitely make them excellent. Groove suppressor, Spetsnaz grip, or field agent. That's the same class setup on every gun. The difference with the AK, we're running the 60 round mag. On the FARA, we run it says 40, but this is a 45 round speed mag to help with that reload time. And on the FFAR, you guys know the 50 round mag, the regular 50 round mag. So those are the three class setups. As far as what makes the FFAR class setup the best, it has the most range by about 10 to 15% better than that of the other two weapons. The FARA has godly recoil, which I'll showcase first you guys in just a second. The recoil on this thing is godly. And then the biggest factor was your straight speed was the fastest. So it doesn't miss, and then your ability to dodge bullets is also the best, which helps you win the most gunfights possible, which is why I think this right now is the best weapon. The AK had the best overall stats of its class setup. Fastest reload time, most ammo, fastest movement speed, and the best bullet velocity. This is basically the AMAX but in the AK version. You got the 60 round mag on there, which gives you the most ammo. It also has the highest damage, which is what makes this gun excellent. So as I said, the first thing I want to cover is the overall recoil, because you guys will see by the video clip I'm about to show, this is 100% game changing for the FARA and why it's the number one weapon to use right now in Warzone. Alright, so on the screen you guys will see the recoil pattern of the three weapons. On the far left is the FARA. In the middle was the AK-47. On the far right was the FFAR. As you guys can see, this is not staged. This is 100% real. I'll play the video clip while I'm talking so you guys can see all these guns firing. This was 50 bullets with the FARA, 45 with the AK, and 50 with the FAR. And you guys can see with the same amount of ammo, the FAR had double the recoil, the AK had double the recoil, and the FARA had half the recoil of the other guns, which in my opinion is what is going to make this the best gun right now in the game. As far as the horizontal as well, you guys can see it's the most horizontal perfect. The bullets basically shoot up in a straight line. With the AK, the first couple of bullets shoot purely vertically, and it has a slight pull to the right. So the AK recoil is still excellent in my opinion, because the first few shots kick straight up and down and then pull slightly to the right, which is 100% natural, so it's easy to control. You guys can see with the FAR, it goes to the right and then comes back to the left and pulls up to the right, which is still easy to control, but it doesn't pull as easy up and down. It's definitely a little bit more harder to control. So the FAR is 100% the best recoil. The AK is still really good, and the FFAR is obviously the worst out of these three weapons. So that's what I want to showcase at first, because the FARA is godly. As a guy who has data mine stats, the recoil pattern of this gun was probably the best I've ever seen, which is for a Cold War weapon. So the next thing I want to take a look at is the time to kill of all these weapons. We're going to take a look at the base time to kill up to its base range, because these are close range weapons. Then we're also going to take a look at the time to kill with one headshot included, because that is an excellent factor in what makes the FARA and the FAR lower the time to kill to make it more competitive. Alright, so what you guys will see on the screen right now is the base time to kill at up to what range of each of the weapons. On the bottom of the screen, you guys can see the actual time to kill, with the AK being 100 milliseconds faster, which is what makes it excellent. It does have the least amount of range, but it does have the fastest time to kill. And in my opinion, this is what makes the gun godly. As I said, it has fastest reload, the fastest ADS, the most ammo, and the most damage. So this is an extremely deadly weapon. The one biggest factor in determining what is going to make these guns more competitive is the one headshot time to kill, which you guys can now see on the screen. The FARA and the FFAR have an identical time to kill in their base range, and then with one headshot, once again identical up to their base range, which is what makes these guns even more competitive with the AK, because for the AK it takes 3 headshots to lower the time to kill. With the FFAR and the FARA, it takes 1 headshot, which will make these guns more competitive in my opinion. So you factor in 1 headshot with the easiest recoil to control, 533 millisecond time to kill for the FARA, with the fastest stray speed, in my opinion, is what makes this the best gun right now in Warzone. The AK is a very, very close second. As far as the training versus the AMAX, versus the FARA, versus the AK, what is best? I honestly don't know. What I'm going to showcase on the screen for you guys is the actual stats of these guns as far as their ADS speed, and then all the other stats in determining their reload speed and all that kind of stuff. So what you guys can see on the screen now, this is the damage profiles of each gun, how to lower the time to kill and how to maintain it, and also what lowers it. So with the AK, it's another gun similar to the Groza and the AMAX. You have to get at least 5 chest shots. You can only miss 1 chest shot or headshot if you include chest and headshots. 1 stomach shot will maintain your time to kill of 6 shots to kill, but if you miss and get 4 chest shots and 1 shoulder or 1 lower leg shot, 2 of those will lower your time to kill to 600 milliseconds, which is still godly. 600 milliseconds is still exactly the same as the other 2 weapons, which is still really good. In order to lower your time to kill, you have to get 3 different headshots, which is, in my opinion, pretty much impossible to get 5 shots to kill to lower your time to kill. And that is where you take a look at the FARA. It's going to take 9 shots to kill, because with 8 shots, you're doing 248 versus 250 damage, which is a huge negative. But if you are getting someone who's not fully plated 250 health, you hit them 8 times, your time to kill will still be at 532, which is where the damage of the FARA is still really good. And then once again, with the headshot, 1 headshot will lower the time to kill from 9 shots down to 8 shots, which will obviously lower your time to kill. Big bonus of with the damage of the gun, it has the same damage to the toes, chest, stomach, and limbs, which is what makes the damage pretty good for the FARA. And the headshot multiplier is 1.5, which is also pretty good. And then to lower the time to kill down to 7 shots, which will make your time to kill pretty much godly, takes 3 headshots, same as the AK. With the FAR, same thing, 10 shots to kill. They pretty much tanked this gun and lowered the time to kill to be 600 milliseconds, which is now average. Once again, all you need is 1 headshot to lower the time to kill from 10 shots to kill down to 9, which gives you that 533 millisecond time to kill, which is still extremely, extremely fast, identical to the FARA. And then once again, to get back to the original FAR, the 8 shot to kill weapon takes 3 headshots again, which is not practical in my opinion. This gun has a lot of recoil, pretty hard to control. But with that FARA, I definitely think the damage is excellent. The odds of you getting a 1 headshot kill, probably 99% of your fights, you should be able to do that with how accurate the gun is to maintain that time to kill there. Then the actual mobility stats. As I said, the AK has 60 bullets, which is the most. The FARA is 45 and the FAR is 50. So when you take a look at how much damage they're doing per mag, if you do chest shots only, the AK does nearly double the damage of the other 2 weapons, which is incredible. So your ability to down more enemies with the AK is going to be a lot more. And you also have the fastest ADS speed by just a little bit, and your reload is significantly faster, which is what's best about the AK. And then with the FAR, in order to bring the reload time down, we have to run the 45 fast mag, because the regular mag, the reload time is like 2.5 seconds, which is extremely slow. And your ADS is 367, which is still pretty good. Your damage per mag now is still going to be on the low end at 1400, which compared to the Modern Warfare weapons, they're at 1700. So 300 less damage, which is still on the low end. And then the damage per mag with the FAR. Reload time's the same. ADS time is chunked. This gun got nerfed pretty hard. Damage per mag is the lowest. So as far as these stats of the FFAR, I think it's on the low end by a long shot. And this is what, in my opinion, makes the AK a top 5 weapon. Has the fastest time to kill, and as far as all these numbers, they're also the best. when you compare them to the other top weapons, which is, in my opinion, is what's going to make the AK a top 5 easy weapon right now in the game. So when you basically go through and take a look at the guns, the FARA is the easiest gun to use. The recoil is the easiest to control, which is 100% why everyone's going to use it. With the Raider stock and the RPK barrel stacked together, your straight speed's incredible. You're bringing your reload speed down with the speed mag, which helps it compete. As I said, the accuracy is just insane, which makes it excellent. With the AK, it has excellent stats, which is what makes this a top 5 weapon in my opinion. And then the FAR is just there. If you're nostalgic, I know my friend Josh still loves the FAR. He refuses to use the other 2 guns. It's still a viable weapon. As I said, one shot to the head will lower your time to kill, which is still makes it a top tier weapon. Even with the nerf of the ADS and all that stuff, even if you take off the ADS suppressor, you can run a speed tape to bring that ADS down, would still make this a top tier weapon in my opinion. It's still in the top 10 guns to use in the game, but as far as the new king, the FARA is 100% the new best weapon to use in Warzone. So if you guys learned anything in the video, please make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel below. If you guys had not subscribed yet, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you.